so thrilled to introduce Zach from Curtain Up. I am sure you have heard about them. They have taken social media by storm. They are for community, by community, to start tearing apart the toxicity of the arts. Zach.
Hello, community. Hello, Singular Sensations. Jeni, thank you so much for having me and by result, Curtain Up here to discuss the work that we do. We're thrilled.
What inspired you to start Curtain Up and really create this platform for this unifying conversation?
We have this huge thing that we all share that we haven't done anything meaningful within the power of who we are as storytellers and as artists and as fierce people who are able to bring catharsis and empathy and sympathy and offer this beautiful lens. I'm like, we haven't taken the space that we deserve to take in claiming these and reclaiming these spaces for the future generations, and as well as reclaiming the space to those like myself, and I'm sure like you and anybody else listening right now who've actually been subjugated to this harm. So that's really where Curtain Up started, was the fact that we just were having a discussion about all of these trends that we noticed in all of our experiences. And we were like, we need to start doing something about this, especially nowadays where like the power is, we're learning with all of the happenings of the world, the true power lies in community. So if we as artists can band together and make a statement of what we deserve and what we learned in just discussing this as a group within my immediate circle and within just my friends as a whole, is we have the power to change this. We have the power to reclaim these spaces for future generations. And that's really where the birth of Curtain Up came, is we're like, we need, the way that we start doing this work is by spotlighting the harm, and folks who would like to come forward with their stories can have a place run by artists to do so.
Community care is very much at the base of what we do, and obviously so much at the base of what you're doing. So how do you care for yourselves while caring for the community that you're serving through this movement?
That is a great question, Jeni. That is such a good question, because I can only speak for myself in this regard, but I've had a really tough time with that. I think the best thing that I've learned throughout this process is that community truly is everything. And the more that you can lean into it, the better. So, and then also allowing people to claim their space. I'm so, so grateful to the community of people behind Curtain Up, because without them, none of this would have been possible. And without them, like, we've been able to keep each other sane and we've been able to support one another. And the really lovely thing about Curtain Up right now is that we operate in this decolonized way where we almost recognize when each other needs space. And there's always this willingness within the community to be like, hey, I want to make sure you're okay, and I want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So how can I help? And I've gotten so many responses in that regard of like, hey, you got to chill. Let me help you out. What can I do? And I've learned to take people up on their offers, right? Like, don't just like when people reach out to you in that way, they're not just doing so as a passing comment, and they're not just doing so to be like a passive ally. Like, they're actually asking you. So take them up on it. And I've learned to do that in this time, because taking the space away is very, very important, especially when you're in a position where you're not getting your dollar bills for it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like we hear the word community a lot. We hear the phrase "we're in this together" a lot, and I think those are easy words to throw around. But what you're doing really is the embodiment of all of that vocabulary, which is so amazing to see. We talked about the word reclaiming. When did we lose our agency? And why do you think it is that is the mentality, this breaking down and building up? Like, where did that even come from?
Yeah, I think it's so many things, Jeni. It's this idea of who are these educators in the room, and are they qualified to be there? 2, what are they coming into into this space with? Are they carrying their own trauma that they are subjugating to their students? And are they aware that they might be doing so? And 3, when these educators make mistakes, How do we hold them accountable in a way that is meaningful to our growth as well as theirs? And how do these systems, these institutional systems, support the individuals, especially those who are BIPOC, who are queer, who have neurodiverse issues, who have who are disabled in any way, are marginalized folks? How do we make sure that they feel supported and they feel authenticated in the ways that we've not been able to do so in the past? I think it's an amalgamation of those three things as well as others. Like, there's a lack of accountability in these institutions. There is a lack of accountability within like the smallest person to the largest person. And there needs to be, because ultimately, like, we don't get to decide what hurts people. Like, what hurts people, and the only thing that we are in a position to do is to learn and account and move forward with the new intent. So I think that that is something that's missing in these institutions. And obviously it's missing because we have hundreds of accounts that have come forward on our page alone. Mm-hmm. So we need to build that meaningful system of accountability that ensures that every student feels heard and that their education, where their dollars are as green as any other student, we need to make sure that there's this idea of equity. I would love for Curtain Up, and I think this is the direction where we're headed, is we want to be a watchdog for not only educational spaces, but the industry as a whole, to just use us as a resource. We are a resource to individuals who may not have the capacity or who may not necessarily feel the support systems in place for them to be heard. And if we can be that support system, and we can be the individuals who take on your complaint and bring it into the light and offer you a resolution that allows you to feel heard and allows you to move on from this in a meaningful way, that allows you to carry on with your artistry as you deserve to, that's the goal. I want to be in a position throughout my life where I can make choices that not only value myself, but value the collective of whatever experience I'm in and the perspectives. But also it's the fact too that personally, like, I'm a survivor of this trauma. And that sounds like a bold statement to say, but I say it because it's true. My personal, so I told you my collective, my personal is I would like for kids like me to grow up in a world where the people around them offer them authenticity, and that they never have to go through the steps of authenticating themselves in the way that I did. I want that to be established for them. And I want kids who are Black, who are brown, who are Asian, who are queer, who are neurodiverse, who are disabled, to understand that their lived experience is beautiful and they deserve it, and it's whole and it's complicated and it's gorgeous and it's haunting at times. And I want people to grow up in a way where they can take the world on and not have to take the world on in a liminality. That's what I want to say. And that's what keeps me in this, is the community and my personal mission in making sure that folks like me can be in a position where throughout the grandeur of their lives, they are consistently supported and loved. And that's the way that they lead, because that's what we want. We want to lead with love. And love is so many things. Like, love is me telling you that when you've hurt me, I have to tell you that. Like, love is so complex, but if we lead with it, it can never lead us astray. My challenge and my invitation is that you facilitate those people being put in those positions. That's the power that you, as individuals who carry these theater companies, have, to put new individuals in the center of these stories and expand the lens. That is how we create equity. My invitation is that you facilitate those people being put in those positions. That's the power that you, as individuals who carry these theater companies, have, to put new individuals in the center of these stories and expand the lens. That is how we create equity. That is how we use an organization like Curtain Up to ensure that we meet our mandate of being a watchdog organization that ensures that the most marginalized know that their space and their humanity in our arts industry is deserved and it's celebrated and we encourage it just as much as the people who've historically always been here. You deserve to be too.
Zach, I can't thank you enough, A, for the work you're doing, for taking the time to join us, and for being so open and willing to share your thoughts and feelings with us. You are just fucking awesome. This has been
thanks, Jenny. This has been such a joy. Like, we have so little to look forward to in COVID, and this has been like my shining light of something to look forward to here. So I appreciate you just allowing me to claim the spaces I need.
You're welcome back at any time. Open invitation.
Oh my God, please. Literally just send me a message. I will come back and rant in my chair here. Like, are you serious? I would love that.
I never kid.
Oh my gosh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome.
Okay, well, all the best with Curtain Up. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and again, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you for having us. This has been wonderful. And to all of you out there, thank you for engaging with our movement. Please continue to do so because change is on its way. And I'm here to tell you that it is. So, Curtain Up 2021, follow us everywhere.